Every one of us, at some point, feels like life is spinning out of control. Whether it's a lost job, a broken relationship, or just the chaotic pace of daily routines, these moments can leave us feeling helpless and overwhelmed. But what if I told you there's a way to not just survive these challenges, but to thrive amidst them? Today, we're going to unpack 10 powerful strategies inspired by Stoic philosophy, an ancient yet timeless wisdom that teaches us how to strengthen our mental fortitude. We'll explore how figures like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus turn their philosophical insights into practical tools for overcoming adversity and maintaining inner peace. By the end of this video, you'll have mastered the art of mental strength, ready to face life's storms with composure and resilience. So stay tuned as we delve into these transformative techniques that promise to bolster your mental defenses and enhance your life's quality. If you appreciate what we're doing here and want to keep learning with us, hitting the subscribe button is a simple, free way to show your support. And remember, don't skip any part of this video. Every technique we discuss could be the key to your next personal breakthrough. Let's dive in and discover how to apply these age-old Stoic principles to our modern-day challenges. When life knocks you down, it's tempting to view it as a personal defeat. But here's a Stoic twist. Those setbacks, they're actually your secret weapons. Think about the last time you faced something truly challenging. Maybe you didn't get that promotion you were sure was yours, or perhaps a relationship didn't work out the way you hoped. Instead of viewing these as mere failures, Stoicism invites us to see them as pivotal moments of learning and growth. Aristotle once mused that the more you know, the more you realize you don't know. This rings especially true when we face challenges. Each difficult situation is a classroom, and the lessons we learn are about our resilience, our adaptability, and our true desires. For example, not getting that promotion might reveal an opportunity to enhance certain skills, or even reconsider our career path to find something that aligns better with our passions and capabilities. A relationship ending might be tough, but it also opens the door to self-discovery and understanding what we truly value in partnerships. This Stoic practice isn't just about looking on the bright side. It's about actively using every hurdle as a step to climb higher. It's about taking control of the narrative of our lives. By embracing challenges as opportunities, we're not just passively getting through life, we're actively shaping it. Each challenge molds us, teaches us, and prepares us for future obstacles, turning what could be stumbling blocks into stepping stones. This mindset doesn't just make us mentally stronger, it makes us architects of our own destiny, building a robust foundation of character and resilience. Imagine for a moment that your abilities are like clay in a potter's hands, moldable, adaptable, and capable of forming into whatever shape we desire. This is the essence of a growth mindset, a concept that isn't just modern psychology, but deeply rooted in ancient wisdom. The Stoics believed that our character could be shaped by our thoughts and actions, reinforcing the idea that personal growth is within our control. Adopting a growth mindset means seeing yourself as a work in progress. It's about embracing the belief that with effort, perseverance, and resilience, improvement is always within reach. Consider the challenges you face not as indicators of your inabilities, but as opportunities to evolve. Every time you push through a tough project or step out of your comfort zone, you're not just accomplishing a task, you're stretching and growing your capabilities. This mindset shift can be incredibly liberating. It removes the shackles of perceived limitations and opens up a world of possibilities. Where once you might have thought, "I can't do this," with a growth mindset, you begin to think, "I can't do this yet." It's a small word, but that yet is powerful. It's full of potential and future success. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, once said, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult." This speaks directly to the heart of a growth mindset. By daring to try, to fail, and to try again, we make our tasks less daunting. We learn that failure isn't the opposite of success, but a vital part of achieving it. Each failure teaches us something new about how to approach problems, hone our skills, and become better than we were yesterday. You know, there's a common misconception that self-discipline is about punishing yourself, about gritting your teeth and just grinding through life. But let's reframe that idea, because what it really revolves around is the concept of self-mastery, a key component in Stoic philosophy. It's about aligning your actions with your values and goals, not as a form of punishment, but as a path to genuine freedom. When you practice self-discipline, you're essentially saying, I am in control of my actions, and I choose to act in ways that lead me closer to my ideal self. Self-discipline is the art of choosing long-term satisfaction over short-term pleasure, which is a core Stoic practice. Think about Marcus Aurelius and his meditations. He wasn't just ruling an empire, he was mastering himself. This mastery over his desires and impulses allowed him to lead a life that was not only meaningful, but also aligned with his principles. Now, imagine applying that kind of discipline to your own life. Say you want to get healthier. The discipline choice isn't just about denying yourself that extra slice of cake. It's about choosing to respect your body's needs and your health goals over fleeting cravings. Building this kind of discipline can start small. It might be as simple as getting up with your first alarm in the morning. Each time you resist the temptation to hit snooze, you strengthen your willpower. It's like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. And as this strength builds, so does your ability to tackle larger challenges. Suddenly, tasks that once felt daunting or out of reach seem manageable because you've trained yourself to persevere. So when we talk about self-discipline in the Stoic sense, we're really talking about freedom. It's the freedom to choose your actions based on your rational decisions rather than whims or fleeting emotions. This isn't about restricting your life. It's about enhancing it, ensuring that every choice you make is a brick in the foundation of the life you want to build. It's easy to fall into the blame game when things go wrong, pointing fingers at others or circumstances, but here's where Stoic philosophy offers a powerful shift in perspective. Stoics like Epictetus believed that our responses to events are within our control, even when the events themselves are not. This idea is transformative because it means that you are the architect of your own experience, not merely a victim of circumstances. Taking responsibility means recognizing that your reactions, your emotions, and your actions are up to you. It's about looking in the mirror and saying, how did I contribute to this situation, and what can I do differently next time? This isn't about self-blame or guilt. It's about empowerment and growth. For instance, if a project at work doesn't go as planned, instead of blaming the team, the resources, or the timing, examine your own role. Could you have communicated more clearly? Was there a misstep in your planning? Acknowledging these things doesn't diminish your capabilities. It enhances them by paving the way for better strategies and solutions in the future. By embracing this level of accountability, you cultivate a sense of integrity and honesty with yourself that is deeply grounding. It leads to a life where you feel in control of your destiny rather than tossed about by the winds of fate. And here's the best part. When you start taking responsibility for your actions, you also start to recognize your power to change your life. You're no longer a passive participant, but an active creator in your world. This approach fosters a deeper resilience as you're not constantly derailed by unexpected outcomes. Instead, you learn from them, adjust, and move forward. It's about turning life's lessons into stepping stones toward a wiser, more capable you. Life's emotional roller coaster can really test our mettle, can't it? One minute you're up, the next you're down, and sometimes it feels like you're just stuck in a loop. But here's something Stoic philosophy teaches us. Resilience isn't about avoiding these ups and downs, it's about navigating them with grace. Stoics like Seneca believed that developing emotional resilience was key to maintaining inner peace, no matter the external chaos. Building emotional resilience starts with acceptance. It's about acknowledging that hardships, setbacks, and negative emotions are part of life. Think about it. Getting upset about feeling upset only adds another layer of distress. Instead, when challenges arise, recognize them as opportunities to practice maintaining your composure. For example, if you get passed over for a promotion, allow yourself to feel disappointed, but don't let that disappointment derail your entire sense of self-worth. This is what the Stoics meant when they talked about using obstacles as fuel. Every emotional challenge is another chance to strengthen your resilience. Moreover, cultivating this resilience involves more than just dealing with disappointments. It's also about embracing a broader perspective. Consider the idea that every hardship might be serving a greater purpose in your personal growth. This shift in viewpoint can transform the emotional weight of an experience, turning feelings of victimhood into lessons of empowerment. But how do we practically build this resilience? Start small. Practice mindfulness to stay present during emotional disturbances. Engage in reflective journaling to process feelings constructively, or simply talk things out with someone whose perspective you trust. Over time, these practices help you develop a buffer against the rough patches, ensuring you're not so easily knocked off balance. Embracing this aspect of Stoic wisdom doesn't mean you won't feel pain or stress. Rather, it means you'll be better equipped to handle it. Emotional resilience is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And as you build this strength, you'll find that not only can you handle life's challenges better, but you're also more capable of enjoying life's joys fully and without reservation. Sometimes the difference between a good day and a tough one is simply our mindset. As we started, it might sound a bit out there, but hear me out. The power of your thoughts can truly shape your reality. This is where the practice of positive affirmations comes into play, a technique that's not only backed by modern psychology, but also echoes the Stoic focus on controlling what's within our power, our thoughts and reactions. Positive affirmations are like little anchors of self-belief that we plant firmly in our minds. They help combat the often automatic negative thoughts that can cloud our days and influence our actions negatively. For instance, instead of waking up with the dread of what could go wrong, imagine starting your day by affirming, "I have the strength to handle whatever comes my way," or "I am capable and prepared for my tasks." These aren't just feel-good quotes, they're declarations that set the tone for how you interact with the world around you. The Stoics weren't about empty optimism, but they valued the importance of a well-ordered mind and maintaining a positive outlook. They believed that our emotions and behaviors are the result of our judgments and thoughts, which means by shaping those thoughts, we can influence our emotional state and actions significantly. Marcus Aurelius, for instance, would remind himself every morning of the challenges he would face and affirm his ability to deal with them honorably and with patience. Integrating positive affirmations into your daily routine can start very simply. You might post sticky notes on your bathroom mirror with affirmations written on them, or set reminders on your phone to pause for a moment and repeat a few empowering words to yourself throughout the day. Over time, these affirmations help to overwrite those deep-seated beliefs that we are not enough, enabling us to approach life's challenges with more confidence and less anxiety. It's easy to feel overwhelmed when we think about all the things in life we can't control, the news, the weather, or other people's actions. But here's a refreshing thought from the Stoic playbook. Why not shift our focus to what we can influence? Stoicism teaches us the value of distinguishing between what is in our power and what isn't, and then pouring our energy into the former. This philosophy isn't about resignation, it's about empowerment. For instance, we can't control whether we'll face traffic on our commute, but we can control leaving early enough to feel relaxed on the road, or choosing an audiobook that makes the time pass more enjoyably. This approach can be applied to bigger aspects of life too. We might not have the power to change a difficult co-worker's behavior, but we can control our reactions to them, choosing to respond with patience and understanding rather than frustration. By focusing on our own actions, decisions, and attitudes, we harness the power of our agency. This doesn't just reduce stress, it builds confidence. Every time you choose to focus on what you can control, you're taking responsibility for your own peace of mind and well-being. It's a proactive stance. You're not just being tossed by the waves of fate, you're steering your own ship. And the more we practice this, the more natural it becomes. Start with small things, your posture, your breathing, or the way you allocate your time each morning. As these small efforts accumulate, they lead to significant changes in how resilient and responsive we feel. We begin to see that, though we can't control the world, we can control our place within it, making thoughtful choices that align with our values and goals. Ever noticed how a coffee catch-up with a cheerful friend can lift your spirits for the entire day? It's like their optimism is contagious, right? That's the power of surrounding yourself with positive people. It not only boosts your mood, but can fundamentally shift your outlook on life. Stoic philosophy, with its emphasis on inner tranquility and rational thinking, also recognizes the influence our social circles have on our personal growth and mindset. The Stoics were keen on the idea that to live a virtuous and content life, one must engage with those who embody the qualities we aspire to. If you spend time with individuals who are committed to personal growth, kindness, and positivity, you're more likely to cultivate these traits in yourself. Think about it. When you're around someone who faces challenges with a calm and optimistic outlook, their approach can inspire you to handle your own difficulties more gracefully. This doesn't mean you should shun friends who are going through tough times. Rather, it's about balancing empathy with the need to protect your own mental health. Being there for a friend in need is important, but so is immersing yourself in a community that uplifts and motivates you. Positive people aren't just happy all the time. They're realistic, resilient, and proactive. They're the ones who see a setback as a setup for a comeback, and their resilience can motivate you to adopt a similar attitude. To integrate this into your life, start by evaluating your current relationships. Which interactions leave you feeling energized? Which ones drain you? Gradually, spend more time with the energizers, and consider setting boundaries with those who drain you. Also, seek out new connections that align with your aspirations. Join clubs, groups, or online communities that share your interests or values. As you cultivate a supportive network, you'll find that their positive influences make it easier to maintain your own stoic balance and focus, enhancing your overall well-being and life satisfaction. By choosing your social circle wisely, you're not just choosing friends, you're choosing your future mindset and emotional environment. So, take a page from the Stoics. Let your friendships be your fortress, supporting and strengthening you as you navigate life's ups and downs. Taking a moment for yourself in today's non-stop world can sometimes feel like a luxury you can't afford, right? But here's the thing. Self-care isn't a luxury at all. It's essential, especially if we want to live the balanced, contented life that Stoicism teaches us about. Stoic philosophy isn't just about endurance, it's about flourishing in every aspect of life, and that includes taking good care of our body and mind. Self-care is often pictured as long bubble baths or days at the spa, but in Stoic terms, it's more about ensuring you're in the best shape to face whatever life throws your way. It's about creating a routine that includes activities that recharge your batteries and reset your spirit, not just once in a blue moon, but as a regular part of your life. This could be as simple as making sure you get enough sleep, eating nourishing foods, or setting aside time each day for meditation or reflection. Think of it this way. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers and a Roman emperor, despite his immense responsibilities, found time to write meditations that focused on his own self-improvement and philosophical reflection. If someone as busy as he was made time for self-care, we can too. And self-care isn't selfish, it's necessary. By taking care of ourselves, we are better equipped to be there for others and to face our responsibilities with a clear, focused mind. Incorporating self-care into your routine can start with small steps. Begin by identifying what truly replenishes you. Is it a quiet walk in the park, a rigorous workout, or perhaps just some quiet time with a book? Once you know what works for you, make it a non-negotiable part of your day or week. Schedule it like you would any important appointment, and guard that time against the demands of daily life. By consistently practicing self-care, you're not just looking after your physical health, but you're also nurturing your mental resilience. You're giving yourself a break from the stresses of daily life, which can boost your ability to think clearly and act wisely. Remember, a well-maintained tool performs best, and you are the most important tool in your life. Isn't it fascinating how each day offers us new lessons? No matter how old or experienced we might be, that's something the Stoics deeply understood and cherished. The endless journey of learning. They believed that wisdom wasn't just about accumulating knowledge, but about continuously adapting and applying that knowledge to improve oneself and cope better with life. Seneca, one of the great Stoic thinkers, once said, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." It's a reminder that personal growth doesn't have a finish line. It's a lifelong pursuit. In the modern world, where change is the only constant, embracing a philosophy of never-ending learning is more relevant than ever. Think about all the successful people you know or have read about. What do they have in common? A relentless curiosity and a commitment to continuous learning. They read books, they experiment, they seek new experiences, and they aren't afraid to ask questions and challenge their own assumptions. But here's the best part. You don't need to be a great philosopher or a famous entrepreneur to benefit from this approach. All it takes is a commitment to remain open to new ideas and experiences, whether it's picking up a new hobby, learning a new skill, or simply reading a book outside of your usual genre. Every new thing you learn not only adds to your knowledge, but also enhances your understanding of the world. So how do you make continuous learning a part of your life? Start by setting achievable goals, like reading one book a month or completing an online course every quarter. Keep your mind active by engaging in discussions, attending workshops, or even teaching others what you know. Teaching is a fantastic way to deepen your understanding of a subject because it challenges you to present it clearly and thoughtfully. And there you have it. 10 powerful steps to not just cope with life's ups and downs, but to thrive through them. Betrayal doesn't come from your enemies. It comes from those you trust most. The friend who suddenly turns cold, the partner who walks away without explanation, the colleague who stabs you in the back when you least expect it, and the worst part, you never saw it coming. Today we're diving deep into the silent but sharp world of betrayal to uncover why those closest to us can sometimes become the sources of our greatest disappointments. But why does this happen? How can someone switch from friend to foe overnight? Is there a way to spot the signs before the damage is done? Drawing on ancient Stoic wisdom and modern psychology, we'll explore the hidden mechanisms of betrayal and how you can guard yourself against it without losing faith in the power of human connection. This is more than just a discussion. It's a journey into understanding one of the most painful aspects of our social life. And I promise, by the end of this video, you'll look at your relationships through a new, more empowered lens. Let's get started. Have you ever felt the sting of betrayal? It's a pain that seems to come from nowhere, yet it cuts deeper than many others. Imagine a friend who has been by your side for years suddenly stops calling without any apparent reason. Or consider a partner who one day turns cold and walks away, leaving only silence and confusion in their wake. These scenarios involve the people we've trusted the most, making the betrayal not just a surprise, but a deep emotional blow. Betrayal is often portrayed as a dramatic turn of events in stories and films, but in real life, it can be much quieter, yet just as devastating. It is not the enemies who pose the greatest threat in this regard, but those closest to us. As Carl Jung, a pioneer in psychology, insightfully observed, the larger the front, the larger the back. This means that our deepest hurts often come from where we least expect, behind the masks of those we believe we know best. This reality echoes the Stoic understanding of life's unpredictability and the importance of internal fortitude. Stoics like Seneca taught that while we cannot control the actions of others, we can control our reactions and thus remain undisturbed by external misfortune. In the context of betrayal, this philosophy helps us not only anticipate the potential for such acts, but also maintain our composure when they occur. Betrayal, in many ways, tests our ability to see and understand human nature clearly. It forces us to question our judgments about others and to reflect on the nature of our relationships. Are we truly seeing others as they are, or as we wish them to be? This questioning is not an invitation to cynicism, but a call to realism, a core tenet of both Western philosophy and Stoic thought. By understanding the psychological underpinnings of betrayal, as discussed by thinkers like Jung, we can better prepare ourselves for the complexities of human relationships. Jung's concept of the shadow, the darker, unacknowledged parts of our personality, suggests that often those who betray us are acting out of unresolved inner conflicts. They may not even fully understand their motives, driven by parts of themselves that even they have not fully come to terms with. As we navigate our relationships, it is wise to remain both vigilant and compassionate, understanding that each person we meet carries an inner world as complex and potentially troubled as our own. This perspective doesn't just protect us from hurt, it enriches our understanding of human behavior, grounding us in a deeper sense of empathy and preparedness. As we explore further, let's delve into how we can detect the signs of betrayal and shield ourselves, not with suspicion, but with wisdom and insight. When we think about why people betray others, it's tempting to view their actions as purely malicious or self-serving. However, if we peel back the layers, we often find a tangle of psychological complexities and unresolved internal conflicts at the heart of their actions. Carl Jung introduced us to the concept of the shadow self, a part of our psyche where we stash away those traits and impulses we deem unacceptable or unpleasant. These hidden aspects don't just vanish. They simmer beneath the surface, influencing behavior in ways the individual may not even fully understand. This inner conflict is not far from the Stoic understanding of the inner turmoil that results from failing to live in accordance with reason and nature. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, often spoke of the inner citadel, a fortress of virtue and reason within each person. When individuals fail to reconcile their internal contradictions and instead allow their shadow selves to steer the ship, the results can be destructive, not just to others, but to their own well-being. Imagine a friend who has always been supportive suddenly starts acting out of envy or insecurity. Although these traits may seem out of character, perhaps this friend sees in you the achievements or qualities they secretly desire but feel incapable of realizing. Their betrayal, then, might not be a direct assault on you, but a misguided expression of their own unmet aspirations and frustrations. Jung might say that they are projecting their shadow onto you because it's easier to confront these qualities in someone else than in themselves. From a Stoic viewpoint, this scenario presents an opportunity for us not only to guard ourselves against the pain of betrayal, but also to cultivate understanding and compassion. The Stoics teach us to look within and prepare our own souls for whatever life throws our way, including the often painful missteps of our closest allies. By fostering a strong inner life, we become less vulnerable to the actions of others, not because we erect walls, but because we understand the frailties that lead people to make such choices. By integrating Jung's psychological insights with Stoic wisdom, we gain a more nuanced appreciation for the complexities of human behavior. This blend of understanding helps us navigate our relationships more effectively, recognizing the signs of internal conflict and responding to them not with bitterness, but with empathy and strength. Betrayal often unfolds in a series of subtle shifts and changes, not as a sudden break. It's like watching the slow-motion bloom of a storm on the horizon, barely noticeable at first, but unmistakably there upon closer observation. Recognizing these signs is critical, yet it requires a keen sense of awareness, a trait deeply valued in both psychology and Stoic philosophy. Understanding the process of betrayal involves observing behaviors that might initially seem innocuous, but gradually form a pattern that indicates deeper issues. Carl Jung's concept of the shadow self is particularly useful here. He proposed that aspects of ourselves that we deny or suppress do not simply disappear. They find other ways to express themselves, often in destructive ways. When someone begins to feel threatened by their own repressed desires or unresolved issues, their behavior towards others may change, subtle at first, then increasingly overt. Stoicism, with its focus on self-control and awareness, teaches us to maintain a vigilant watch over not only our emotions, but those of others as well. For example, a friend might start with small, seemingly harmless jabs or jokes at your expense, which could escalate over time if driven by jealousy or insecurity. Seneca advised us to be as observant of the temperament and actions of our associates as we are of their character. He suggested that such vigilance helps us to discern genuine friends from those who may harbor hidden resentment or ill will. These early warning signs can be varied and complex. Perhaps someone who once shared freely suddenly becomes secretive or withdrawn. Or maybe you notice a change in their tone when they speak to you. Less warmth, more formality, as if they're slowly building a wall between you. These behavioral cues are crucial. They often precede more overt acts of betrayal and are the psyche's way of signaling unresolved inner conflicts. From a Stoic perspective, recognizing these signs isn't about becoming paranoid or overly defensive. Rather, it's about preparing ourselves to respond with equanimity and wisdom. Marcus Aurelius wrote about the importance of being attuned to the nature of our associates, understanding that each person acts according to their character. By anticipating potential betrayals before they manifest, we can protect ourselves from their worst impacts without harboring anger or resentment. The process of detecting betrayal is fundamentally about enhancing our understanding of human nature and our capacity for insight. It's about developing an empathetic yet cautious approach to relationships, where we balance trust with the wisdom of experience. As we delve deeper into the practical ways to mitigate and handle betrayal, remember that our goal is not to build barriers against others, but to fortify our internal resilience, allowing us to face whatever challenges may come with strength and dignity. It's natural to wonder why acts of betrayal seem to cut deeper than other kinds of injuries or disappointments we face in life. The sting of betrayal is profoundly painful because it strikes at the very foundation of our trust and expectations in relationships. These are not just any relationships, but ones where we've invested significant emotional energy, making the impact of betrayal deeply personal and often devastating. This emotional investment is key to understanding why betrayal hurts so much. When we connect with someone, whether it's a friend, a partner, or a colleague, we're not just spending time with them, we're also sharing parts of ourselves, our thoughts, our feelings, our hopes. Carl Jung might say that in doing so, we project parts of our own psyche onto these relationships, seeing in them not just another person, but a reflection of ourselves and our ideals. When these relationships then turn sour, it feels like a part of ourselves has been rejected or attacked. Stoicism offers a perspective on emotional investment that can be quite enlightening. Here, Stoics such as Epictetus taught that while it's important to form relationships and connect with others, we must always remember that our emotional well-being should not depend entirely on others. They emphasize the concept of some things being within our control and others not. And clearly, the actions and feelings of others fall into the latter category. By mentally preparing ourselves for the possibility that even the most trusted individuals might one day betray us, we can protect our inner peace. As she sat watching the world go by, something caught her eye. It wasn't so much its color or shape, but the way it was moving. She squinted to see if she could better understand what it was, and however, recognizing the Stoic advice doesn't mean we become emotionally distant or cynical. Rather, it's about cultivating a kind of emotional resilience that allows us to care deeply for others while still maintaining a part of ourselves that is anchored firmly within our own rational and moral framework. This balance is what enables us to experience deep connections without being undone by them if they turn negative. Understanding the role of emotional investment in our reactions to betrayal also helps us navigate these painful experiences with more grace and wisdom. It reminds us that our pain is valid and reflects our capacity for deep connection, not a personal weakness. In this way, we can begin to heal by reassessing our emotional boundaries and expectations, possibly even emerging from the experience with a stronger sense of self and a clearer understanding of what we truly value in our relationship. As we move forward, we'll explore practical steps to not only foresee potential betrayals, but also to handle them when they occur, using both psychological insights and Stoic principles to guide us toward healthier, more resilient ways of relating to others. This journey is not just about avoiding pain, but about growing from our experiences, transforming potential bitterness into a deeper wisdom about human nature and our own emotional landscapes. Navigating the turbulent waters of human relationships requires a vigilant eye and a prepared heart. Knowing how to foresee and mitigate betrayal isn't just about safeguarding ourselves from harm. It's about cultivating a deeper understanding and resilience that enriches our interactions with others while protecting our inner peace. Let's explore some practical steps to recognize early signs of betrayal and effectively shield ourselves from its more damaging effects. First and foremost, awareness is crucial. This means being attentive to subtle changes in people's behaviors and attitudes toward us. Carl Jung's insights into the shadow self are invaluable here. They teach us that what people do not consciously address within themselves often manifests in their actions. Sometimes as betrayal. For example, if someone typically shares openly but starts becoming secretive or withdrawn, this could be a sign of internal conflict or a change in their feelings toward you. From a Stoic perspective, Marcus Aurelius advised vigilance in our social interactions, suggesting that we should not only listen to what people say, but also watch what they do. Stoicism teaches the importance of discerning the nature of our associations and adjusting our expectations accordingly. This means that if we notice inconsistencies between someone's words and actions, or a pattern of behavior that suggests hidden motives, it might be time to reassess the trust we place in them. Another step involves setting and maintaining boundaries. This is where Stoic principles can be particularly empowering. Stoics like Epictetus emphasize the importance of focusing on what we can control, which includes our boundaries. By clearly defining what is acceptable and what is not in our interactions, we make it harder for others to disrupt our peace of mind. Boundaries also serve as a test. They can provoke reactions that reveal someone's true intentions, allowing us to see who respects our limits and who chafes against them. Communication is also key. Often, potential betrayals can be headed off through open and honest dialogue. If you sense that something is amiss, addressing it directly can not only clarify misunderstandings, but also signal to others that you are attentive and aware of the dynamics at play. This doesn't mean confronting every odd behavior, but rather choosing your battles wisely and speaking up when something truly significant appears to be brewing. Lastly, cultivating a network of support and fostering a variety of relationships can provide a safety net. Diversifying our emotional investments can help mitigate the impact of any single relationship going awry. The Stoics encourage us to cherish and nurture relationships, but also to maintain a part of ourselves that remains steadfast and undisturbed by external changes. This balance allows us to enjoy deep connections without being overly reliant on them for our happiness and self-worth. By integrating these practices into our lives, we not only better protect ourselves from betrayal, but also deepen our engagement with those around us in a more mindful and meaningful way. It's about being proactive, not reactive, shaping our relational world with intentionality and insight. As we continue to grow and learn, we find that our capacity to handle life's challenges, including betrayal, becomes one of our greatest strengths. As we wrap up our exploration of betrayal and the shadows it casts, it's important to remember that understanding the why and how of betrayal doesn't just help us avoid future pain, it empowers us. This empowerment comes from a deeper comprehension of human nature and our own strengths, allowing us to navigate our relationships with greater wisdom and resilience. Empowerment through understanding means recognizing that betrayal, as painful as it is, offers valuable lessons about trust, human behavior, and our own emotional responses. It prompts a reflection on our values and expectations, and in the process, sharpens our judgment. When we look at betrayal through the lens of psychology, as Carl Jung might encourage us, we see it not just as a personal attack, but as a complex interplay of individual psychologies clashing or failing to align. This perspective shifts our reaction from one of mere hurt or resentment to one of inquiry and growth. Incorporating Stoic principles further enhances this empowerment. Stoicism teaches us that our real power lies in our response to adversity. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about the importance of facing challenges with a calm and composed mind, using them as opportunities to practice virtue and strengthen character. When we apply this to betrayal, we learn not to be swayed by external events, but to find a stable grounding within ourselves. By doing so, we maintain our dignity and peace of mind regardless of others' actions. Moreover, this understanding encourages us not to be embittered by our experiences, but instead to use them as catalysts for personal development. Each incident of betrayal, each breaking of trust, can be a stepping stone to a more enlightened self, one who is more discerning, less reactive, and more at peace with the complexity of human relationships. This does not mean becoming guarded or cynical, but rather developing a mature awareness of the potential for both good and ill in all relationships. Empowerment also means embracing a proactive stance in life, instead of being a passive recipient of others' actions. Understanding betrayal arms us with the knowledge and tools to actively shape our social world. It teaches us to set boundaries, communicate openly, and cultivate a diverse network of relationships, all of which enhance our emotional and social resilience. T was going, but it didn't help. As she continued to stare into the distance, she didn't understand why this uneasiness was building inside her body.